The San Angelo Coliseum hosted Sesame Street Live on the 40th birthday of Sesame Street. The two-night performance dazzled kids and parents in a crowded Coliseum.
These lower rates do not necessarily translate into lower taxes, as we all know, with rising valuations, taxes.
The third annual development forum took place at the San Angelo Museum of Fine Arts on November 9th. Along with city staff, Mayor Pro Tem John Mark Hogue gave a development speech on the recent developments in San Angelo over the 2009 year. Awards were also given out to businesses for achievements over the year.
The city cannot always continually grow and grow and grow just by raising new taxes. And part of that effect is to try to get ourselves into an environment in which we expect to try incrementally to reduce the amount of revenue that we're taking from the citizens. And that's the council's objective, and to force the city council and the city staff to be as efficient in operating the city government as possible.
The McNeese Convention Center hosted the Lifetime Heroes Luncheon in November, which recognizes women who have offered their love and support for our military. On Thursday, November 19, 2009, the San Angelo Development Corporation and the City of San Angelo recognized community development. Over the years, a variety of organizations, both public and private, have joined together to revitalize targeted areas throughout the city. This Community Revitalization Luncheon highlighted some of those accomplishments over the past years.
The City of San Angelo, partnering with Galilee, CDC, Habitat for Humanity, and Rebuilding Together, obtained over $500,000 of neighborhood stabilization program funds to purchase, rehab, and sell foreclosed homes. And this shows the new spirit of not just cooperation, but in my opinion, determination.
Because you can look at all the projects that go on individually, and they happen in every community. But what has occurred in neighborhood revitalization in San Angelo for the last 4 to 5 years has been remarkable. It has never happened before in the history of San Angelo, and probably hasn't happened in this scope, in this way, in any other community you know of. What has happened here is truly remarkable, not because of projects, but because of process.
People get ready, there's a train a-coming. You don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith, open up the doors and board them. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord.
Thanksgiving brought around a fun event for local kids. Turkey Shoot, hosted by the Recreation Division, gave local kids a chance to shoot free throws and have the chance to win a turkey for their family. The third episode of A Closer Look focuses on Old Fort Concho. Fort Concho manager Robert Bluehart takes viewers on a tour of the facilities and talks about the history and how you can go about renting the many different facilities that the fort has to offer.
We're now in the Verizon Danner Museum of Telephone History here at Fort Concho, an exhibit and display that we have held in Community Trust for nearly 15 years. Years ago, in the old GTE building on Johnson Street, there was a small telephone history display, which a lot of folks didn't get to see because of the limited access by the public to the building. Back in the early 1990s, GTE, then our regional phone company, came to the fort and came up with a proposal to restore this office's quarters on the inside to a more functional display facility and display many of the old phones and electronic equipment the company had for the public to enjoy. So I'm standing in front of a sort of a soldier's line of telephones dating from the 1890s, if you're a hand-rung wall phone system, up until some other hand-cranked ones, and also a case of phones that reflect the early 1900s. There's a pretty wide range of telephones in here, dating again from the very earliest. In fact, we have one of the copies of the first telephone of 1876 up until the cell phone era. And of course, cell phones have grown smaller and more powerful, but early on they were the equivalent of Vietnam War era backpacks, and we have a few of those, I believe, around here.
As December approached, San Angelo was hit by some consistent cold weather, which included the first snow in 3 years. Having very high percentages of chance of snow, the city of San Angelo was covered in snow the next morning when citizens woke up. The snow might have made the weather even colder, but it didn't stop Fort Concho from hosting the 28th annual Christmas at Old Fort Concho. The event attracts guests from 30 states and a few foreign countries and raises on average $40,000 to $50,000 for Fort Concho and represents the fort's largest fundraising event for the year. The Lakeview Choir came and sang Christmas carols to the city employees inside City Hall. The songs quickly became favorites on the city YouTube channel, having over 200 views in just a few days. The San Angelo Broadway Academy performed the Christmas favorite Scrooge the musical at the City Hall Auditorium on December 11th. The Christmas season came to life as 67 theater students warmed the hearts of San Angelo in the holiday musical Scrooge.